Fact 1. The city in this film later became the setting for another masterpiece. Escape from New York created a hellish vision of a future Manhattan using miniature models. The crew built a tiny world in a workshop to create the illusion of a ruined New York. The shocking truth is that after filming wrapped, the model was neither destroyed nor discarded. It was taken to Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, 1982 set, given a coat of neon paint, transforming it into Los Angeles in 2019. Two different dystopian worlds, sharing one ruined city model soul. Fact 2. Before making Titanic and Avatar, this man quietly colored a desolate Manhattan. In 1981, James Cameron was still an unknown name in the film world. He worked for a small studio and was invited by John Carpenter to join the visual effects team. Cameron's job was matte painting, creating giant background canvases to illusion of an abandoned New York. No one suspected that the artist meticulously painting every window pane was the one who would later create the Terminator, Aliens, Titanic, and Avatar. Escape from New York was the silent foundation, laying the groundwork for his groundbreaking rise. Fact 3. The ending scene wasn't shot on a soundstage, but right in the director's garage. In the script, Maggie, who fought alongside Snake, fell heroically. After the main shoot, John Carpenter discovered a loophole. There was no scene of Maggie's body, which lacked a necessary narrative conclusion. Budget and time were running out. The solution? Carpenter brought the entire crew to his home garage. Adrienne Barbeau, his real-life wife, lay down on the cold concrete floor, motionless. A handheld camera sealed Maggie's fate in that cramped, ordinary space. Fact 4. An American president on screen. Had mysterious, never-before-revealed British origins, Donald Pleasance, famous as Dr. Loomis in Halloween, played the U.S. president. Pleasance imagined an entire fabricated history. The United States had fallen back under British colonial rule, and the president was actually a British gentleman installed as a puppet. This explanation, though never in the film, accounts for his booming British accent. Fact 5. A blow with a real spiked bat almost cost the famous wrestler his life. In the fiery arena, Snake Plissken faces off against a giant. Carpenter invited professional wrestler Ox Baker, famous for his menacing demeanor. The climax. Kurt Russell attacks Baker directly with a spiked baseball bat. The chilling part, the bat was not fake. Baker was only protected by a thin piece of wood hidden under his shirt. With just a small error, a spike could easily pierce through, costing his career or life. Fact 6. The press once panicked, mistakenly believing a plane had crashed right in the city center. The film crew purchased an old plane wreck from Arizona, cut it up, and transported it to St. Louis. They erected it in the middle of the street, adding smoke and shattered metal. The scene was so real that not only residents, but also the press were fooled, publishing articles as if a national tragedy had occurred. For a few days, the entire city was caught up in a manufactured nightmare. Fact 7. Kurt Russell adamantly refused a detail that could have turned Snake into a mockery. The original draft had Snake complete his mission and flick a cigarette butt directly into the president's face as a gesture of absolute contempt. Kurt Russell immediately objected. To him, that detail turned Snake into a cheap cowboy. Russell fought fiercely, asserting that Snake's silent, sharp gaze instilled a lasting impression. Carpenter agreed, preserving Snake's ultimate cool image. Fact 8. The lead role almost went to Chuck Norris and Tommy Lee Jones. In the early 80s, Kurt Russell was still associated with the image of a kind, innocent Disney kid. When John Carpenter nominated him for the role of Snake Plissken, the studio immediately rejected it. They leaned towards safer choices, Chuck Norris or Tommy Lee Jones. Carpenter was persistent. Russell shot to stardom, and Snake Plissken became one of the greatest anti-heroes. Fact 9. The film is titled New York, but only has one real scene in New York. The entire New York in the film was actually constructed from St. Louis and Los Angeles. A previous fire had burned down many neighborhoods in St. Louis, providing a perfect setting. Only one scene, where the camera pans past the Statue of Liberty, was actually filmed in real New York. A film named New York, yet hardly setting foot in the city. A paradox that astonished Hollywood. Fact 10. That chilling opening voice turned out to be from a familiar scream queen. The cold female voice describing how New York has been sealed off belongs to Jamie Lee Curtis, the star of Halloween. Carpenter invited Curtis to do the voiceover as a silent tribute. Though not appearing on screen, her voice opened the door, leading the audience into Snake's dark world. Fact 11, a grand bank robbery scene was completely deleted before the film's release. Initially, Escape from New York opened with a chaotic bank robbery. Snake and his accomplices stormed in, guns blazing. The scene was elaborately staged, but during test screenings, audiences found it cumbersome and slowing down the film's pace. Carpenter cut the entire segment. This decision preserved Snake as a shadowy, notorious figure. Fact 12. The image of the Statue of Liberty's head, lying in the street, only existed on the poster. The promotional poster sent shivers down millions of spines, the giant head of the Statue of Liberty lying strewn in a New York avenue. It became one of the most iconic cinematic images of the 80s. But upon entering the cinema, everyone was surprised. No scene in the film replicated that image. It was a brilliant marketing trick. Fact 13. The roaring helicopters on screen actually came from real military forces. The rumbling helicopter sounds and shadows were not just models or sound effects. Those helicopters were real vehicles of the National Guard mobilized to serve the film crew. Carpenter developed such a passion from this experience that he spent time learning to fly and eventually became a real pilot. Fact 14. For months, the film crew only lived at night from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. The suffocating atmosphere wasn't just special effects. The entire film crew had to live completely in darkness. The shooting schedule began at 6 p.m. in St. Louis and lasted until 6 a.m. the next day. Every scene was filmed in thick darkness filled with artificial smoke. As dawn broke, the entire crew retreated, and bulldozers cleared the wreckage to return the streets to normal life. Fact 15. A notorious antagonist. Self added a peculiar tic that made audiences shiver. Isaac Hayes, the king of soul music, played the villain Duke. Hayes proposed adding a small, nervous tic to the character whenever he encountered Snake Plissken. Duke's eyes would twitch slightly as a sign of underlying instability. This acting intention was meant to make Duke more dangerous and unpredictable. Fact 16. A spaghetti western legend. Had to film in pain after surgery. Lee Van Cleef, associated with the good, the bad, and the ugly, played Sheriff Bob Hawke. When he stepped onto the set, Van Cleef was in poor health and had just undergone knee surgery. Every scene where Van Cleef had to stand or walk authoritatively was physical torture. No one knew that behind those stern eyes, the veteran actor was silently enduring excruciating pain. Fact 17. In a film about a kidnapped president, the son of a real-life president appeared. Stephen Ford, son of President Gerald Ford, the 38th U.S. president, briefly appeared as a Secret Service agent on Air Force One. The irony lies in the fact that the son of a real-life president was present in a fictional scene about the president being taken hostage. Fact 18. a script rejected for years for being too dark and violent. John Carpenter actually wrote Escape from New York in 1974, years before Halloween. But most studios flatly rejected the script, deeming it too dark, too violent, and unsuitable. It wasn't until after the success of Halloween that Carpenter gained enough credibility to revive his old script. Fact 19. The woman Snake. Met on the street turned out to be Kurt Russell's real wife. Amidst the chaotic journey, Snake Plissken meets a woman in a small cafe. This woman was Susan Hubley, Kurt Russell's real-life wife at the time. This blending of screen and real life created a strange feeling, the cold outlaw encountering his real-life partner. Fact 20. The immortal character. Snake Plissken was actually inspired by a real-life gangster. Snake Plissken sounds like a comic book name, but John Carpenter drew inspiration from real life. In high school, he knew a gangster nicknamed Snake because he had a large snake tattoo on his arm. Carpenter adopted that nickname for the main character, then dressed him in cold armor and an iconic eye patch. Escape from New York is a testament to John Carpenter's boundless audacity and creativity. It's a dystopian world that is both suffocating and captivating. Snake Plissken has become an immortal icon, etched in the history of action sci-fi cinema. Which fact surprised you the most? The real spiked bat stunt, or that Chuck Norris almost played Snake? If you found this video fascinating, don't forget to like and share it, and remember to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next shocking cinematic secrets.